Today I'm going to show you a short mobility yoga routine, which I use quite often actually. Gets the joints moving, gets a bit of the energy flowing in the body. So we're going to start off by simply shaking the body, sort of shaking the body off. Really nice just to move around whichever way you feel. Just get the body moving. Just go for it. You know, they say, dance like nobody's watching. And so just moving the body around, maybe moving the hips a few times. So just feeling that energy starting to flow around yourself. Just moving the head. Okay, that's really nice. And then I like to follow that by walking out the dog. So coming to downward facing dog and simply walking out the dog. I like to do this for about 30 seconds. So bending one knee, straightening the other leg. Just looking towards the knees to keep the back of the neck nice and long. Externally rotating the arms. So really feel into the backs of the legs and feel length going all the way through the spine. So it's almost as if your tailbone is being pulled backwards and upwards. And then coming onto the tiptoes and then pressing the heels all the way back down again. And then from downward facing dog, it's quite nice to come into plank, for example, or even upward facing dog. But be very gentle, be mindful of how your back is. So downward facing dog, coming into plank, abdomen is engaged, strong in the upper body, upward facing dog. And just moving backwards and forwards a few times. Whatever your ability is, just moving backwards and forwards for about 30 seconds. That's quite nice. You could do longer or you could do shorter. But the main thing is listen to your body. We're then going to release the knees down and then keeping the elbows gripped into the rib cage. Just lower yourself down. So using a bit of upper body strength. That's looking good. And then we're going to come into Sphinx. So elbows underneath the shoulders, length through the spine, lifting up through the chest, shoulders moving down, back of the neck nice and long. And you could look over the right shoulder to the left heel and the left shoulder to the right heel. Just do that a few times. Nice. Before coming back to center. And then to counterpose, Sphinx, pressing up all the way back into child's pose. So breathing into the spine. Really nice. Breathing into the lower back, coming up onto all fours. And then stepping that right foot between both hands, walking that back knee back. And we're going to open up into crescent moon. Breathing in and releasing down. So you can either have the foot flat or the toes tucked under. And you might need some padding on your back knee to do this. Just moving up and down a few times, going with the breath. Inhale, open the body. Exhale, close down. So I like to do this about 5 or 6 times on each side. And so make this your last one. Breathe. And then release. And we're going to just step back into downward facing dog. And releasing the knees down. And then step forward with that left foot. Right knee comes back. And then breathe and open the body. Lifting up through the chest. And release down. So breathing in, open, exhale. Breathing in, open, and exhale. Breathing in, lift, release. So 5 or 6 times on each side. Just really gets the body moving, opening it up, gets the heart pumping, bit of heat, release, and then coming all the way down. And then from crescent moon, we're going to step forward into ragdoll forward bend. So in ragdoll forward bend, you can see that my knees are bent and the belly is resting on the thighs. And you can shrug the shoulders, release the head and neck. Really nice. Just to let everything go. And I quite like to sigh out a few times, just to let everything go. And from there, we're going to, as long as your back is okay for this one, no bulging discs or anything like that, we're going to roll up the spine. So we're going to stack the vertebrae one by one from the bottom. Going to come all the way up and go as slow as you like when you do this, coming all the way up. And then exhale, you unstack the vertebrae one by one from the top. Just letting that head hang. Just coming all the way back down again. And let's do another 2 of those. So just breathing in. Stacking the vertebrae from the bottom. Chin lifts last. And then coming all the way back down again. And just one more. Breathing in. And then just releasing down. And when you're at the bottom, just simply letting the shoulders hang loose, head hang loose, shrugging them a few times from side to side. And then we're going to come all the way up. And depending on how your knees are feeling on this, I'm going to suggest that you either come down into a half squat, a side squat like this, and you can see my foot is vertical, or you could start on the knees, then come out to the side. So depending on how you are, just put a bit of padding under your knees as required. And just going to hold it here. So feeling this really nice opening on the inner thigh. And if you really want to be courageous and test out your balance, you could bring the hands into prayer position. It gets a bit wibbly wobbly, but give it a go. And I've fallen over many times doing this, and it doesn't hurt actually. It's fine as long as there's nothing behind to fall onto. So move the cat or something. Cats don't like being crushed. And then from there, I'm going to come all the way over onto the other side. So you can either have the knee down or come into this half squat. Again, it's really nice opening on the inner thigh that we're looking for. And then we can challenge our balance. And sometimes a balance on one side be a bit more tricky than the balance on the other side. That's okay. That's perfectly normal. But we're just bringing the body into balance all the time. We're seeing, exploring the body, seeing how it is. So hold this for about 5 or 6 breaths. It's really nice. So we're not doing quick breaths, by the way. It's nice and slow, smooth breaths. And then from there, we're going to come all the way and bringing the feet together, just giving them a bit of a shake off, moving the hips around. That's really good. And then separating the feet out nice and wide. And you can see my feet are in a 10 to 2 position. So the feet and the knees are pointing in the same direction. And we're going to breathe in. And then releasing that right hand down to the left ankle. Bending the knees, coming all the way up. And then over to the other side. So bend the knee before you come up. And just releasing down. So the main thing is to make sure that you're inhaling as the body opens and exhaling as the body closes down. So we're going with a natural flow. Bend that knee before you come up, so we don't want to strain anything. We want to use the muscles rather than the joints to do these movements. Going with the flow here, just enjoying this, feeling the openness of the body. And then release down. And inhale. And then just bringing the feet together. So, thanks for joining me for that short practice, really designed to start the day off, open the body, get a bit of heat flowing, get the heart beating. That's quite nice. If you've got time, then there are other practices on my channel. So, for example, you might want a 10-minute relaxation now, a 10-minute breather, or you might want to do some more active yoga practice, or you could go into some of my yoga nidras. So thank you again for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed it. And if there is anything in particular you'd like to explore in your yoga practice, whether it's meditation, whether there's particular parts of the body which you want to target, relaxation techniques, please do let me know. Put a comment down in the comment section, and I'll see what I can do. For now though, namaste.